can stream all three. So, hey, y'all, we are officially live. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, perfect. So I am officially live. So I got my new mill going. It got like a incline on it. This is the one I bought because the other one wasn't here, but I'm gonna take the incline down because my thighs already burned from yesterday, and I don't want to have any additional problems today for no reason. Okay, perfect. So this one I actually can set the time on it, which is amazing. Okay, hold on. Let me set that time. Okay, there we go. I'm learning. All right, so let's set it for the 45 minutes. I did not want to run, and it's my, I think it's just because my stomach hurt. But woman, this is natural. So I gotta just go through the motions of it all. All right, we got our 45 minutes going. I got my water already. I'm still connected everywhere. If y'all have any questions, leave me a comment. I can't really see them now, but I'll make sure I answer them after. I'm going to keep my running shoes on. Y'all know I've been doing I've been walking in my socks, and that ain't been cool, honestly. So hopefully this will be better for me. And as y'all can see, I'm still bloated. So okay, kind of told y'all my personal information. Like, I'm a woman, so I got a little thing going on, and every time I think going on, I get bloated. But I feel like I am definitely getting stronger. When I flex my thigh muscles, I'm like, dude, these things flexing. So we are on day 17. We've been staying consistent, and I can definitely see the changes, and I'm loving all the results that I've been seeing from everyone. So I'm very proud of everyone, even the results I've been seeing for myself. So if you guys ever have any questions, definitely let me know. You guys also text me 407-374-2747, and then I'll make sure that I text you all back. So we got our 30 questions. Let's start getting into it. I already went live earlier, and I did I already gave you guys a free copy where you guys can actually do a screenshot of the pay for deletion letter and the goodwill letter, because that's what we went over. Tomorrow we're going to do some more pay for deletion letters. I'm going to share my screen. I don't think that I'm going to walk with you all tomorrow because I don't know what else we need to talk about with pay for deletion. Pay for deletion is simple. If you know you want to collect your credit report and you're willing to pay them, call them and say, hey, this is how much I got. Other companies I need to pay. Are y'all going to take the money or not? That's basically what you need to say to them, but you need to let them know, hey, I need to get my credit report in exchange for me actually paying it too. So not just, I'm gonna just pay this money and this account gonna stay on my credit report. So that's the other part of it. I'm gonna pay you this amount and be, hey, I'm gonna pay you 40% of what's actually owed. So if it's $1,000, I pay you $400, and I need the account deleted from my credit report. That's what the agreement will be. Okay, so that's basically what it is. The goodwill letter is when you have late payments, and your late payments are with the original company. So it's basically you begging them to remove the late payments, basically. Because guess what? If you already had late payments that wasn't supposed to be for, you wouldn't have to beg them because it would be a straight violation of them actually having late payments on your credit reports. So with the goodwill letter, you're like, hey, please listen, I've been doing good on this account, and I just need you to remove the late payment. So I showed you guys a goodwill letter that you can send. Now that letter has helped a lot for a lot of my clients doing goodwill letters. So you guys definitely try that. We're on day 17 technically, so that means that we already, when we did our disputes on day 9, it was day 9, 10, and 11, we already asked the credit bureaus to remove these late payments. So I wouldn't suggest we actually send out goodwill letters right now. When we do our next disputes, which is going to be June 27th, for the people that's actually following along, right? If you guys are rewatching it, I think it's like day 43 or I don't know. The date is for sure. But you guys will definitely you probably heard it if you watched the other videos. Oh, hold on, wait, what my Facebook went? Okay, I guess not. I guess the screen is gonna go out. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that then. But I didn't want the Facebook to go out. But you guys already heard the date when I told you guys what it was. Because you guys should be tracking your own certified receipts. When you track your own certified receipts, you'll know when you have to send out round two. And then I'll make another video telling you this is our round two disputes. And then you guys will use that to send out your round two disputes. So I don't think that we should do goodwill right now. It's going to come, but I just don't think that we need to actually do them right now. So let's go through everything. So I want you guys to understand the difference. So what's the difference between a goodwill letter and pay for deletion? Don't forget, good begging a company remove some late payments that you have in your credit reports that are most likely valid because you asking them, hey, can you remove when I had a hard time and I don't normally have any late payments. You asking them to remove some late payments from your credit. A pay for deletion is when you talking to the collection company, you tell them, hey, I'll pay you to delete this account from my credit report. So I'll pay you a set amount of money. Hopefully you guys will negotiate a nice discount, but I need this account deleted from my credit reports. All that portfolio recovery, I actually did pay for deletion with them before because it's one of their rules that once you pay on your account with them, they'll automatically delete it. So it's a lot of companies out there that does over that tomorrow, where as long as you pay it, they'll automatically delete it. It's already in their system that's what they're going to do. You guys just need to negotiate a certain amount. And that's if the companies, we already did our dispute letter. If the delete from your credit reports, plus they've been sending you everything that you need, plus they've been sending everything you need, then you can go this route. But I like to say with pay for deletion, you really want to send it when you are in the process of now you're trying to buy a house. Right now you're trying to buy a car, and this account right here is specifically hurting you. And it's like I can just pay this $200, $300, and it'll boost my credit score so much that I can move on with my life and get the car I want, get the house. Then in that case, that's when I would say that it would be a good idea for you guys to do the for deletion. So when should you guys use the goodwill letter? I think that you guys should use the goodwill letter after you ask the credit bureau the late payment. So we already did that in our round one disputes. So when we send our next round letters, it goes with a goodwill letter. So with our round one, we asked the credit bureau to delete accounts, remove late payments, right? We're going to give them 30 days. 30 days, we're going to follow up and say, hey, you didn't delete these accounts from my credit report and remove these late payments. Remove these late payments and delete these accounts. And if they didn't respond, we got a whole separate letter for that. Because if they don't respond at all, because you guys should have sent this certified, then it's a separate letter that you guys have to send out to, hey, you didn't respond. You're required to delete all of these accounts from my credit reports because they're unverifiable. They're unverified accounts. Not only on two do we send another letter to the credit bureaus, but that's when we actually send a letter to the original creditor for those charge-offs. We send a goodwill letter during that time for y'all late payments. During that time too, we send a letter to the collection company. So I think is the best time after you send the letter to the credit bureaus first. Wait at the 30 days. When you send that second letter to the credit bureaus, at that same time, send a letter out for the goodwill. When is it better to try pay for deletion? I think that it's better to try for deletion after you try to have the credit bureaus just delete it. The biggest thing when it comes down to these collection companies is you want the account removed from your credit reports. So if the credit bureaus go ahead and account, then why a lot of times you're not thinking about even paying these companies. So I think that it's best to do the pay for deletion after you can try a few months to try to get the account deleted. And also too, after you tried, you already sent letters to the collection company. Maybe they have everything correct. They're on their rights. You actually owe the debt. Then at that time, you should try to do a pay for deletion. A lot of times people want to go ahead and settle the debt, but I also think that the best time to do it is when basically it's very early on in the statute of limitations. So it's a certain amount of time that these companies have to sue you. So you're trying to get a house right now, a car right now, and they basically just got this debt, is brand new, and they've been doing everything they need to do, and the account is valid. You want to do a pay for deletion. But if you almost in the statute of limitations where it's like too much, they can't even sue you, then maybe you don't want to do it at that time. So that would be my thing. Maybe they don't have the right to sue you. So they're not going to have the right to sue you in about a month or two. So you may want to wait. So it may not be a good idea to do a pay for deletion then. Can I use both strategies at the same time? Yes. we're doing this so that you guys can get 180 points, and you want to get this in 75 days. So, and that's total. So 180 points. We just want 60 points per bureau. And doing so many things, and to me it's at the same time. So we're doing our disputes, and pretty soon we're going to start applying for accounts for those people that need accounts on your credit reports, and then we're going to apply again after our results come back, because your credit score is probably going to be here. We're doing a lot of things anyway at the same time. I think that stuff can be done at the same time, and that's when you guys are going to see a huge increase in your credit score, when you really do everything at the same time and you don't wait. Sometimes people want to do one thing, just wait. Which one will work better for late payments, goodwill, or pay for deletion? The goodwill is going to be better for late payments, because that's what it's meant for. The pay for deletion is meant for collections. It's not meant for any type of late payments, okay? So let's see where my time is at, because thing actually will tell me my time. They say I burnt 19 calories, which is good. We're already on it. So we got 34 more minutes ago. Okay, that's not bad. So we like 10 minutes in. I hope that you guys been drinking your gallon of water. Like I told y'all, I haven't been drinking my gallon of water, but I've been drinking my 8 cups of water a day for sure. I was supposed to always put my meals on my Fitness Pal. I'm probably gonna have to get back on there. I do find myself too, because are trying to do a lot of things at one time, especially me with doing this and not expecting to get out of school. I do find myself falling off in certain things, but my only thing is just that I hurry and get back up while I'm still in the challenge in terms of like my fitness. I've been logging my meals. I have been staying consistent though with this, which is what I want, staying present, making sure like I'm bringing y'all brand new letters every day, and staying consistent with my clients, and staying consistent with my lawsuit, staying consistent with my kids, me staying consistent with my coupon, and with my eating. I bought some cereal so I don't have to have my smooth move every day, and some cereal that get me right. So I've been staying on the major things, which I'm happy about. So it's some stuff like, if you guys are falling off in certain things, that's fine. It's y'all continue to pick yourself back up and y'all get back on it. And it's not like y'all fell off for 10 months or something like that. Like, fall off a day or two, maybe a week, but just pick yourself back up. But remember, the main thing is credit. That's what we're doing this Strongest 75 for. It's our body and our credit. So as long as we stay consistent on those things, that's our main target. We're trying to build some healthy habits right now. As long as we're doing that, we should be happy, seriously. Because that's how I'm looking at it as, like, with that. So let's talk about some goodwill letter insight. Have you guys ever sent out a goodwill letter? So I told you guys I've sent out goodwill letters for my clients in the past, and they have worked greatly. But sometimes they don't necessarily work. Sometimes the company refuses to remove the late payment from your credit report. I know that I told you guys that years ago I had a late payment on one of my previous cars, and oh my God, just one of them, they removed it. But once I paid off the car, and I asked the credit bureau to remove the late payment was actually removed. But certain companies, they don't care. Let me warn y'all now. Certain companies just don't care. You was late. Remove them. But have you guys ever tried to do it? And like I said, I have seen great success. And like I said also too, I have great success with just the credit bureaus removing it, which is why we already put the late payment in our dispute letter. And then what's the best way to ask a lender for a good one? Just asking. Actually, you shall receive. I live by that now. Just making sure that I ask and I put it out there, that I'm at least doing what I need to do to make sure that is coming to me. And if I never send out a letter, if you guys never send out a letter, nothing's going to happen. So the goal is just to put your best foot forward no matter what, and just to send out the letter. So that's the best way to act. That thing that I showed you guys, the goodwill letter that I showed you all, that you guys take a screenshot of, that letter is very simple. It's like, hey, I had a late payment on this day, and I had this going on. Can you please remove it? It's as simple as that. It's just about asking, though. Do I need to be on my account for goodwill to work? You know what? This is a good one. I do say you have to be current on it, because how you gonna say, like the letter that I gave you guys, like, oh, I'm a good customer, but you're late now, you're not a good customer. Like, you're not. So I do think that you have to be current on your account. You have to bring your account current. And that's why we're doing this whole challenge. Yes, you need to do the disputes and all of this, definitely. But no matter what, you have to bring your account current. Y'all don't know how hard it is when I have certain clients where I'm trying to help them remove accounts from their credit reports, but they're literally right now late, like 30 days late, 60 days late. And they come to me with the late payment. And a lot of times I be honest too, enough friend, like, hey, listen, because I remember I had to be honest. Hey, are you going to continue to be late on this? Yes or no? Because you may want to act like it's a charge off and don't treat it like a late payment. Act like it's a charge off. Find all the errors and ask them to just to remove the account fully now. Because some people say, oh yeah, Rickita, I'm 60 days later, I'm 90 days late, I'm never paying on that. Okay, well then we shouldn't be asking them about removing any late payments. We need to be asking them to remove the full account. You guys have to be honest with yourself in regards to whether or not you're going to be paying on that account. But with goodwill letters, it's best if you're going to be current on if you already current on the account, you plan on staying current. And it really was just a hiccup in the past. Maybe you got 1 or 4 late payments from the past. You want to just ask them because they may mess around and do it. Can I send goodwill letters to auto loans, not just credit cards? Like I said, I tried to do it with mine and it didn't work. It didn't work. But you guys can, because you just never know as to why for me it didn't work. I do find a lot of success though with late payments, asking the credit bureaus to remove the late payments. But sometimes ask the credit bureaus to remove the late payment, they may mess around and try to delete the full account. And that's definitely not what we want. So that's another thing you guys have to think about. How soon should I follow up if I don't hear back? The same way we get a credit 30 days to respond to our disputes, we need to get a company's 30 days to respond back. That's what I would say. Like I said too in the live earlier, you send it out 1 month and you don't get the result you want, send it out again, but stuff up. Say, hey, this is my second time sending a letter. You can do that same exact letter, just add a few sentences. Hey, this is my second time sending this letter. I don't know if you guys got it or not. This is really hurting me. Can you please remove these late payments from my credit reports? Are you the company? And I did not think that I was going to be late on there. I just had something horrible happen. As simple as that. And then send it out again. Okay, so that is our goodwill letter insights. We got 27 more minutes. Let's see how far we walked. Okay, we over half a mile, so 0.64 miles. And then 34 calories. I like that this actually counts down instead of the other one. And I do like that this one it can be on incline. But y'all, my thighs were so bad. I Epsom salt yesterday when I went couponing. So after I get done with this, I'm going to soak some in the tub, do a little journaling and stuff in the tub, just chill. Probably be in there for about an hour, just relax. Because I'm just so sore from the 5-day. And even though I didn't run it fully. I started running it with my daughter. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I started to run it, and this girl was taking off, and I was like, "Princess, you need to slow down. You're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna be tired." And boy, did she burn herself out. We didn't even make it halfway there. We did probably a mile, and she was like, "Okay, so is it time to turn around, or is it over yet, or like, how does this work? Like, why are we here?" And I told her, hey, listen, we got to go all the way down here because I did this route before. We had to go all the way down here and turn around. We didn't even get to the turn around part. We're not even halfway there. And she was so over it. But I think that I said I was going to do 2 runs with my kids. Outside of like the runs that I do, I'm going to do 2 additional ones. I'm going to do 2 of them with them where I'm okay with them coming. I'm okay with having drag them. It's just going to help with their mental strength, I would think. But I would rather have did it by myself. I could feel how patient my trainer was when he did the half a marathon with me, and I was like dragging. he had to drag me through that too because I was like over it. At first, it was like, okay, we did half a marathon looking cute. I was so over it. Gosh, is my body sore. So my body is sore now. I think it's just because I ran some and it was raining outside too. It was raining, so we had put on. I got some rain jackets. We put some rain jackets on. Still got through it, so I'm very happy about that. So if y'all haven't signed up for a 5K, for a 5K, I got my thing right here. I got it from Amazon, and I just started filling it up. It's actually really full now. Get another one and probably hand that one down to my daughter. Probably get like another one. My daughter told me I should actually get my pictures and fill my whole wall or something with them. Like get my pictures from every 5K that I've done and probably just do something nice on the wall. But I'm if I can probably add to that one or like get a bigger one or maybe do her idea in front of the wall. But I'm just trying to buy some time, y'all, because we boring. Okay, so now we gotta do some pay for deletion tactics. So what's the best way to negotiate a pay for deletion? I just feel like the best way to negotiate is just to call them, tell them, hey, say, hey, listen, I got 7 to 8 other companies I'm calling. I don't know how this totally work, but I see that this account is on my credit reports. I feel bad that I have this on here. I didn't even really think about this. That calls like this too. I didn't think about this that much, but I was just trying to see like how can I go about like paying you all, or I'll see how much you guys want because I don't have that much money. I'll probably pay one of the other companies, and after I pay it, just to see how it work for you guys to delete this from my credit reports, and then let them throw out the number what they want you to pay, and then say if it's $1,000 debt, and they like, oh, well, we're gonna need you to pay at least $800. You're gonna say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know I was gonna have to pay that much for it. Is it a way that I pay $400? Or maybe you can say $200 and let them bring it all the way up. And what I realized with these companies is some of these companies are okay with negotiating for taking a few days, and you need to be okay with just walking away too, because for me, I would think that y'all should continue to send out y'all dispute letters because those are what, $5.58. I think that you guys should continue to send out this because y'all may mess around and have the credit bureaus delete the accounts from your credit reports. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. But after you say $200 and they say, oh no, we can't do that, a lot of times they're gonna say, let me talk to supervisor, and then they'll come back and say, okay, well, we can't do 200, but we can do 700. Y'all decide if y'all want to do 700. But I will go a little further and say, see, I think that I would rather take that $700 and pay 2 or 3 of my other collections off. I don't have the money to spend on this one, and I don't even know if this debt is even mine. Like, that's what I would personally do, because a lot of times too, especially if you got in a rush, you guys never got the correct validation on these debts. Y'all don't know if the debts are real, and then they'll come back, and maybe they'll come back in a good area. Say, you know what, maybe we can do 600. And you decide if you want to do 600, but it is going to be a back and forth negotiation. And what you can do too, after you get off the phone with them, and I say get off the phone with them, they don't come up with your number, get off the phone. After you get off the phone with them, then call them back in a week. Tell them, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. We couldn't come up with a number, but I can't pay that. I'm so sorry. I got these going on. I got to take care of my kids. A lot of stuff going on. Call them back in a week and see if they're going to do it. Hey, last time I talked to you guys, y'all said y'all was going to take $600. I'm not at 600, but I got 450. Oh, you can't take that? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to try something else because that's not going to work. So that's something that you guys can do. And oh my gosh, my thing is out. I'm gonna have to just accept it. But that's what you guys can do to try to see if these companies, okay, I'm just gonna accept that. Facebook is not gonna be here, y'all. But that's something that you guys can do to try to see if you can get that number down. But I think that that's the best way that you negotiate. Should I offer to pay in full or a percentage of the balance? Definitely a percentage. And 60, usually a lot of companies will say pay 60% of the debt. That's what I was hearing when I was negotiating a lot of time. They want you to pay 60% of it. So try to get it down to the 60%. Do I need a written agreement before I pay? What I have found is you can say, hey, I'm going to record this call, because a lot of people going to say they're not going to send you a written agreement. You can say, hey, I'm going to record this call, or you can confirm, hey, are you guys recording this call? I would rather record the call on your end, and then, with the iPhone, you can literally press the record button now, where say, hey, this call is being recorded, and you have a copy of that recording, because I had to do that to a collection company. You can do that, or you can confirm, hey, are you guys recording this call? Because these collection companies are keeping the recording anyway. So if you guys if you guys have a verbal agreement on what it's going to be, and then confirm, hey, can you send me this in writing? If they say, hey, I cannot send it to you in writing, well, are you confirming that this is the correct amount while we're on the phone? Because that is a recording that you can use, plus you're recording on your end. I think that would be enough. The only reason why I say that is because y'all know I had to sue the credit bureaus, and I had to sue the collection company. Me and TransUnion had an agreement on what our terms was going to be, but when they sent me the contract, they tried to add more stuff in there. So I asked the judge, I took a bill, I asked the judge, hey, make them do what our original agreement was. And the judge said, hey, based off of the email, I will go off of this. I'm not gonna go on all this extra stuff, because they wanted to silence me. They didn't want me to talk about the case altogether. I'm like, we ain't agree on me just never speaking on this thing altogether. Like, ain't even what we talked about. But the judge was like, hey, I can just go based off of the email. So I'm believing they can go based off of the call too. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm, because if they agreed to something and they had the authority to accept that payment over the phone a lot of times, then it is what it is. Just record on your end and make sure that they're recording on their end. You a written agreement, that would be better, but sometimes they're going to say no, because I know when I did the same with portfolio recovery, they was like, we ain't sending you no agreement. We ain't finna send you no agreement. So that's something to think about. Okay. Can I negotiate with a collection company or the original creditor? You can actually negotiate with both. A lot of times these companies will say, especially if you go to the collection company, depending on the agreement is and how the contract is, they're gonna say, hey, we can take the payment over here, or you can go ahead and negotiate. And the original creditor would say that. Or sometimes too, you can just go to the collection company. But sometimes the collection company may give you a better deal. They actually bought the whole debt. You couldn't even go back to the original if the debt was fully paid for. They don't have it anymore. Okay. What's the risk if the pay for deletion is refused? I don't think that there is. If it's refused, it's refused, but you do have to understand too that you may be on their radar too. When I say you're on their radar, remember I told you something about the statute of limitation. They have a certain amount of time to sue you. For some reason, you guys don't come up with an agreement. They may think, you know what, let me take legal action on it. But those are usually companies that was going to take legal action anyway. And that's why I said only pick a great time to talk to these collection companies. Like, if you know you really finna settle with these companies, you're not just playing any games, go ahead and call them. Now, what I know, with all information I have now, I wouldn't do a pay for deletion. I just wouldn't. But some people, they believe in them still. So that's why I figured we'll throw this in there, because some people need to get a house tomorrow. That's how they think, is I need to get a house next month, 2 months. Car, and it's only this one account, and you got a company that's willing to do a pay for deletion. I was only going that route if you know that these companies are going to delete the account from your credit report. Don't go negotiate with no company. Start saying that, oh, this debt is yours and all this stuff. I wouldn't suggest doing all of that. Don't do all that. If you know you got some money right now, like that $1,000 debt, if you got $600 right now, because around that $600 is where we need to be anyway, then you can go ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and set a company. Y'all see how I'm going and touching the computer, turning it back on. I wasn't able to do that before. I'm getting better at this treadmill. All right, y'all, we got 15 more minutes left. we're going at our 2.2 speed. We're over a mile. We're almost at 1.1 mile. Actually, we're at 1.1 mile now. At 58 calories. I'm spending a lot. I do not like the amount of work that we have to do with working out compared to the amount of calories. Like, we're about to do all this walking, and I'm gonna bend to burn 65 calories, 70 calories. That's one egg. 70 calories is one egg. This is a lot of working out, if you ask me. But my target too, thinking about the one egg, my target is to be at 1,500 calories or less. That's what my target is. I am probably going to do more cut in my calories and be around 1,200 calories. Um, I'm going to do that during the time I'm more disciplined. Like now, I'm not that disciplined. But I'm going to do that more when I'm getting closer. Like if I'm seeing like, dang, I'm getting that close to the 150 I want to be at, then I might cut it, my calories a little bit more. But I think that right now I'm fine, but I will go down to 1,200 calories. All right, y'all. So we are halfway there with the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and run through all these questions. So is a Goodwill better for accounts I'm still paying on? Yeah, that's for sure. If you guys have credit cards and you have late payments on the credit cards, maybe one, two, maybe up to four late payments, you're still paying on them. Yes, that you have an open account with them. I would say even with a closed account, you can ask them to remove the late payments. I just don't tell yourself no. Like let them tell you that they're not going to remove it. I would say to still ask for it and see if they're going to do it. It's paid only for collections and charge offs. Yes, you can still probably do it early. I would think when I say early, before they even charge it off. Maybe you have a credit card. Maybe you have an installment account. Still probably do like a pay for deletion with them. Say, hey, I need this account deleted for my credit reports. But usually original creditors are not into deleting account collection companies, but you still can try. Especially if you like a 90-day late, you call and say, hey, I'm gonna be able to pay this. Can I just settle this out at a certain amount? You can ask them and see what they do. They may say yes. Should I try to first and then the pay for deletion if denied? No, those two letters go together at all. How many Goodwill letters can I send for the same account? As many as you want. Until they tell you to stop writing them, they not removing as you crazy. What makes a Goodwill request more likely to work? I just think that when you actually have all your information on there, you can see that we put the name, address, your account number on there. You actually put the months of it, and then you put the story as to why you were late. I think that that's gonna make it more like work. Some people just send out a letter and they don't even say what months they were late. They don't say why they were late. They don't say any of that. So I think that as long as you all the information on there, you guys will be fine. All right, y'all, we got more minutes to go. 10 more questions. So now we want to reflect and make a plan part of it. So when I look at our workbook, I sometimes say, oh my gosh, we're on day 17. I don't believe that we're on 17. And this could be a spot. Let me know how you guys are feeling right now, where maybe you're like dragging your feet some a little. But we are getting very, very close to being at least a third of the way. So I want you guys to make sure that you stay consistent, persistent, and you just do everything that you guys have to do, and then reflect on what's working and what's not working too. That's the biggest thing. Okay. So if you guys do a Goodwill letter, if you're not getting a response back, make sure you write that down. If you are getting a response back, maybe they removed 2 late payments out of 3. Make sure you write that down. So make sure you guys are reflecting on this and making a plan for the next week so that you can say, well, I'm going to do these things the next week. Okay. So I want you guys to make a note on which you have to do the Goodwill letter for. Remember, anything that have a late payment, and I would say if you guys have 1 to 4 late payments, those are accounts you want to do Goodwill letters for. If you guys have too many late payments on an account, I don't think that we should do goodwill letters. You need to delete that account because it just had done so much damage to your credit, especially if you have a lot of accounts on your credit reports like me. I have so many accounts. So I would suggest that you guys think about doing a goodwill letter and you got 20 late payments on an account. You might need to just delete that account because you will get a better result by just deleting that account. But go through your credit reports and see exactly how many late payments you have. In section today for day 17 in your journal, go ahead and write down those accounts that you have and how many late payments you have on those accounts. And then also, I think we did this yesterday, the debt validation yesterday. But I also want you to go and check out your collections. Decide, push, turn, or shove. Are you willing to settle on them? If you're willing to settle with any of them, just put them down in this area saying that you're willing to settle so that you guys can double back and say, okay, these accounts were not deleted. I'm going to go ahead and settle with these. Because you may say that you're willing to settle right now, but when you get your results back from the disputes that we just did a few days ago, once you get those results back, these accounts may not be on, but I still want you to reference or know exactly what accounts you are willing to settle with and which ones you are not willing to settle with. So go ahead and pick those collections. We need to know what our backup plan if these don't work. What if the late payments don't get removed? You also need to have a backup plan as to what if they don't want to do a pay for deletion. If some of these companies don't want to do a pay for deletion, I told you that the credit bureau is going to be your best chance of getting this stuff deleted. If they don't want to do the goodwill, they'll do a pay for deletion. Then that's when we have the credit bureaus send out these certified letters. I think that it will help out a lot. And then also going the extra mile too. Any errors on your credit reports and these accounts are stopping you from getting the credit you. Our backup plan is always do like I had to do with actually doing the lawsuit. That is our backup plan. So that is what our backup plan if that don't work. But when we do since we already did our disputes, when the results come back, you're gonna see sometimes that say if you had the $1,000 collection and it's on all three credit bureaus, you may find that TransUnion will delete it, and then now you're gonna send out a dispute for Experian and Equifax, and then the next month Equifax will delete it, so now it's only on Experian. Maybe you don't want to for deletion on that one because you got another collection that's on all three credit bureaus you weren't able to get off at all. And you may have a greater chance of getting that deleted. So you kind of just have to fill it out, see where you at with these collection companies. And then you can better decision at about our 75-day mark because at that time we should already have 2 disputes out. And we should have got our results back too for probably both of them. No, 69. We could have if we hurried up and did what we need to do. Like you guys did what you need to do, didn't delay. You definitely could have got results around that 75-day mark or maybe the 80-day mark. You guys would have had gotten all your results back, and then you could have made a great decision. Say, you know what? I've been saving up my money. I'm gonna go ahead and pay on these collections or whatever you decide to do. Okay, so how would you guys keep track of your requests and responses? I think that you guys should just keep track of it in your journal. At the end of your journal, you got space to be able to write. And then 2, I suggest you put some sticky notes at the top of your journal saying, hey, these are my collections. You can put pay for deletion right there. That way you remember where the pay for deletion is. So that's how I think you should do it. You guys have plenty area to do notes. And my question to y'all is, what's the biggest thing that y'all learned today? So if any of the things that I went over today was very helpful to you or something, please go ahead and put it in the comments. I would appreciate that so that I can just know to make sure I reference for other people, my clients that call me, because maybe they didn't know it either. But let me know what's the biggest thing that you guys learned today. And we got 5 more questions left. We at 1.45 miles. I'm sweating. My hair's sweating out. I just did it. It's already over. I gotta wrap it up. But we got 5 more minutes and seconds to go. And we're going 2.2 speed. Okay, y'all. So now we got to wrap up our live because it's the end of our live. We got less than 5 minutes. So I want you guys to figure out one type of action that you guys can take today to make sure that we were to get the negative accounts removed or the negative errors corrected or the negative information corrected. And the only thing I really want y'all to do today with y'all homework is write down the late payment, the accounts that got late payments, and then how many. You can go further to say, hey, these are the days I was late on it. These are the days that reporting late. And then I want you to write down your collection companies that you're willing to do the pay for deletion with. And then put which credit bureau it's on. So if it's a collection with IC systems, you can put IC systems as a collection. You can put the amount, let's just say $1,000, right? Just put the $1,000, and then you could put EX for EQ for Equifax and TR for TransUnion. That way that is on TransUnion. So the name of the company, the amount, and then which bureau it's on, and then list the companies that you're willing to do a pay for deletion with, and make sure that you got a tab. I would suggest that you guys get some type of you can do some type of sticky note, and then you can put Goodwill on there and pay for deletion on there. And then we're going over pay for deletion again tomorrow. So you can actually right there too for pay for deletion. But that's what I just want y'all to do today if y'all don't do anything else. Don't forget, every day is just we're getting one step closer. That's it. And if y'all don't have any late payments or anything like that, then if you guys don't have any collections, like if you with me, we try to get into utilization, we're going to get that soon. Just make sure that you stay on top of your walking, make sure, or you're exercising for 45 minutes a day, and make sure you guys stay on top of your water. Now we are 82 calories burned so far, not our 70 or 65. Are you guys looking to actually write your Goodwill letters today? Did you guys have a screenshot of it? I suggest if you haven't, go to the video for day 17 that I put out. It should be on a playlist on YouTube after I get done doing this, because I did not add it on there. But if y'all go to the YouTube channel, y'all will see the day 18. Go to strongest75.com. If you haven't gotten your workbook already, definitely workbook for sure. Download your workbook for sure. And I have the hard copies coming. And if you guys watching the playback, we already have the hard copies for sure. But go and find a live that I did and take a screenshot of the Goodwill letter and pay for deletion so that you guys can have it. You guys don't have to go pay for it anywhere. You guys will have a copy. It's all about you guys actually in this and implementing it and mailing it. So did you guys take a screenshot of that? Make sure you guys get a copy of it, because maybe you don't need it now. Maybe you're going to need it in the future. Do you guys need to protect any of the credit bureaus? Because I want you guys this week right here, we don't know whether or not they got these disputes or not. You guys already should have been checking your certified receipts every day. So I want you guys to stay on certified receipts and see if these companies, these credit bureaus actually got your letters. If for some reason your stuff is stuck in transit, which is something that you guys can be able to possibly catch early. If it's stuck in transit, you got to resend that letter, and you can't refund for the $558. You got to pay again to get that letter sent. But if it's in transit, it's in transit. It is what it is, but you guys have to send out another letter. You can't set the point that they just didn't get it, because you're not going to get any results. So every day this week, make sure that they're going to get that dispute letter. If they haven't gotten it, as soon as you see that it's been in transit and they said, oh, they thought it was going to go to them on Wednesday and that was Friday, you need to go to the post office, confirm if they got it, and you need to reprint out your letter and resend it to the credit bureau that didn't get it. Okay? And that's just you staying on top of your certified receipts. And are you guys having any questions on this? When you guys already sent out that letter, like I said, sometimes it could be in transit. I don't know what does that, but it happens. If it says it's in transit, that means it's probably lost in the mail. The credit bureaus receive that letter. I found that out. They're going to receive the letter. But even with them receiving a letter, that don't mean that you have a formal tracking of it. What you need to get something to say that they received it. So what I want you guys to do is resend that letter if your thing says it's in transit. And that is the end of our 45 minutes. I'm going to figure out this Facebook for next time, but I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow when I go live. If y'all have any questions, definitely let me know. Stay on top of y'all water, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.